All right, imagine waking up tomorrow, popping open your laptop, and literally having the productive output of an entire fully staffed company right at your fingertips. I know, it sounds totally like science fiction, right? But as we're going to see in this explainer, this is the exact reality unfolding right now, today. Ordinary people are using artificial intelligence as this incredible point of leverage to build businesses, launch products, and generate income at a speed that was, quite literally, impossible just a few short years ago.
But here's the crazy part. While a massive chunk of the population is sitting at home, completely freaked out that AI is going to take their jobs, there's this tiny, hyper-focused group of people quietly using this exact same tech to build tremendous value. In fact, a lot of financial experts are saying we are currently in the middle of the absolute biggest wealth transfer opportunity since the dawn of the internet. And honestly, it brings up a very stark, very real question that we all need to be asking ourselves right now. Are you going to be one of the people who actually benefits from this massive shift, or are you going to be left behind?
Okay, let's dive into this. The reality we are marching toward in 2026 is that AI is no longer just some cool tech trick or a fun little chatbot you play around with. It is fundamentally changing the entire landscape of who gets rich and exactly how they do it. The old barriers to entry, they're dissolving. So today, we're going to explore how a small group of people are leveraging this to build modern fortunes, and much more importantly, how you can do it too.
So let's start with Section 1, the new gold rush, and how we're really just repeating history.
Think about how history beautifully and honestly, pretty predictably, repeats itself. Every single generation gets one major defining opportunity. Think back to the 1800s. The Industrial Revolution created massive, unheard-of fortunes for factory owners. Then the 1900s birthed the modern stock market, creating legendary investors. Fast forward to the 1990s and the internet, and remember, most people thought it was just a passing fad or a toy for nerds, right? But a few visionaries saw the future and built absolute global empires. Well, history is repeating itself right now with the AI boom of 2026. Except there's one massive difference this time around. You do not need millions of dollars in venture capital to get started.
Moving right along to Section 2, the economics of AI, or what we can call the labor collapse.
To really grasp the scale of this wealth transfer, you've got to understand the mechanics underneath it. For thousands of years, human progress was strictly capped by human labor. If you wanted to double your output, well, you had to double your workforce. But consider the stark contrast between that slow, traditional past and our hyper-fast present. Think about a traditional business. You need a writer, a designer, a programmer, a researcher, a marketer. You need physical office space. You need millions in capital. But in AI business, it's literally one person with a laptop, using AI tools to act as the writer, the designer, the programmer, the researcher, and the marketer, all at once for essentially zero cost.
Which leads us to probably the single most important economic reality of our decade. The cost of creating value is completely collapsing. Today, one person can write entire books, build complex software, and run global marketing campaigns straight from their living room sofa. And if you look back at history, whenever the cost of creating value drops this drastically, entirely new fortunes are instantly made. It's a real game changer.
All right, Section 3, 5 paths to AI wealth. Let's talk about the modern millionaires. So who is actually making all this money? Let's shift from the economic theory into practical, everyday reality. There are basically 5 distinct avenues you can start leveraging today. First up, content creators. They're using AI to pump out high-quality videos, blogs, and newsletters 10 times faster than ever before. Next, you've got the AI entrepreneurs, running incredibly lean, automated businesses with zero traditional employees. Third are the developers. These folks are building robust software products in days, not years. Then we have consultants, who are bridging the gap by teaching traditional, old-school businesses how to integrate these new tools. And finally, the investors, who are strategically funding the companies quietly benefiting from this massive boom.
Which brings us to Section 4, the problem-solving secret, and the fact that AI is, at the end of the day, only a tool.
Now, before you rush out and buy a bunch of pricey software subscriptions, you've got to understand this massive caveat. AI itself will not make you rich. It's just like owning a hammer. Simply having it in your garage won't automatically build you a house, right? This is a trap that so many people completely misunderstand about this technological gold rush. The folks getting wealthy right now are not getting rich just because they know how to log into a fancy chat interface.
Real wealth still comes from solving real problems and creating tangible value for other people. You still have to actually help folks, save them time, or improve their businesses. The fundamental core rules of commerce, they haven't changed one bit. The bigger the problem you solve, the more money you make. The only difference now is that AI acts as this unbelievable lever, allowing you to solve those giant problems at lightning speed.
Let's look at Section 5, the risk of inaction, because we definitely need to talk about who's going to lose here.
We have to look at the flip side of the coin. Every major technological revolution creates massive winners, sure, but it also creates losers. Think about the division we're seeing right now. On one hand, you have the adapters. These are the people leaning all the way in, learning the new skills, staying deeply relevant. On the other hand, you have the ignorers, and history tells us exactly what happens to this group. When automobiles rolled onto the scene, the horse and buggy industries collapsed almost overnight. When the internet arrived, stubborn, traditional businesses simply vanished. The true danger right now isn't AI itself. No, the real danger is willfully ignoring AI while the market heavily rewards those who adapt.
Moving into Section 6, which is the core of our explainer today, your AI business checklist, and exactly how you can position yourself.
So how do you make absolutely sure you're an adapter? We're going to pivot directly from understanding the landscape into taking immediate, practical action. Grab a pen because here is your definitive 4-step checklist to launch your very first AI-leveraged business today. It's a remarkably simple framework. Learn the tools, develop your human skills, build something tangible, and think long-term. Let's unpack these one by one. Step 1 on your checklist is to actively learn these AI tools. And listen, I don't mean just playing around with them for 5 minutes to see what they do. You need to integrate them into your actual daily workflow. You aren't learning them because they're trendy. You're learning them to automate your repetitive tasks, to instantly summarize complex research, or even to generate code. They are rapidly becoming baseline, essential skills for the modern economy. It's literally going to be like knowing how to use email.
Now, step 2 might actually surprise you a bit. You need to aggressively develop your human skills. Things like communication, sales, marketing, problem solving, and sheer creativity. Why? Well, because when AI handles all the basic technical and repetitive grunt work, these uniquely human traits become exponentially more valuable. A great salesperson supercharged by AI research? Unstoppable. A creative marketer who can generate 100 ad variations in under a minute. They essentially become a one-person ad agency.
Step 3 is where the real magic happens. Build something. Do not get stuck in that endless, exhausting loop of just watching tutorials. The absolute best way to learn how this new economy works is by taking messy action. Start a YouTube channel using AI scripting. Launch a lean bookkeeping service where AI categorizes all the expenses. Build a simple software product. Just put something, anything, out into the real world. Let the market react to it and iterate from there.
And finally, step 4. Think long-term. Look, it is so easy to get blinded by those wild stories of overnight success. And let's be honest, a lot of people are just looking for a quick AI shortcut to make a fast buck. But real, generational wealth, that comes from showing up consistently, solving ongoing problems for people, and compounding your knowledge over time. Use AI for that incredible speed? Absolutely. But rely on your own consistency for lasting success. All right, final section. Section 7, the 2026 turning point. Let's try looking back from the future.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to mentally transport yourself 20 years into the future. Imagine looking back at this exact moment, this exact year. You know how when people look back at the early internet, they always ask, man, why didn't more people take advantage of it when it was so incredibly obvious? We are guaranteed to hear that exact same question about AI. You have to realize that the raw technology sitting on servers isn't the opportunity itself. The opportunity is entirely about what you, as an individual, choose to do with it today. We are going to see a permanent split in society. There will be the watchers, the vast majority of folks who simply sit on the sidelines, scrolling their feeds, just watching history happen around them. And then there will be the builders, the tiny percentage of people who take that practical 4-step checklist we just went through, take aggressive action, and use these wild new tools to create extraordinary wealth and freedom for themselves.
History is literally being written right now, and the barrier to entry has never, ever been lower. The tools are essentially free, the knowledge is everywhere, and the market is wide open. So I want to leave you with one final essential question to really chew on as you close your laptop today. Which group will you be in?